Hello students. So today we are going to study how to estimate the working capital amount. Conceptually we know that working capital is excess of current assets over current liabilities. So how we can practically find out the amount of working capital? First let us understand how we can include as a format or as a specimen. So this slide basically shows the specimen of estimation of working capital. First of all, you have to list out all the current assets given in the question. So basic current assets which will be provided to you will be cash or bank balance, inventories, receivables. So inventories include the three types of inventories: raw material, work in progress and finished goods. Receivables include debtors as well as bills receivable. Similarly, come to the current liabilities. Current liabilities generally will be given to you: creditors for purchases, creditors for wages and creditors for overheads, or any of the outstanding expenses, outstanding wages given to you in the question. So in this way you will be able to calculate the total current assets and total current liabilities respectively. And where it is written excess of current assets over current liabilities, it means you can write the other name as working capital, means the difference of CA and CL. So you have to add the safety margin in it. Safety margin means if any contingency is being provided, you can adjust that and write down the net working capital. Now certain hints or points to remember have been given to you. Net working capital, which is current assets plus current liabilities. Current assets is inventory plus debtors plus bills receivable plus cash or bank. Current liabilities, creditors plus bills payable plus outstanding wages plus outstanding expenses. Formula to convert the annual production into weekly, daily, monthly or quarterly production. Now, why this has been written? In the question you will be given with the annual production, means the annual output. You will be asked to convert it into any of these production. So how to convert into weekly production? Annual production divided by 52 weeks. Monthly production, annual production divided by 12 months. Daily production equals to annual production divided by 365 days. Quarterly production equals to annual production divided by 4 quarters. And one more thing we have to keep in mind, basically, that we should know that whatever the cost or the expenses we are going to calculate, has to be kept in mind that cost equals to units, number of units, multiplied by per unit, multiplied by the time period which has been taken for calculation of that cost. So let us take one of the important question to understand how to estimate the net working capital. Prepare an estimate of net working capital requirement of zero company from the data given below. So estimated cost per unit of production. Three types of cost are given to you always: raw material, direct labor, overheads, along with their per unit amount. Additionally, you can see on the right hand side that additional information has been given to you related to selling price, level of activity, raw material, work in progress and finished goods in stock, credit allowed by suppliers, credit allowed to debtors, lag in payment of wages. Cash at bank, which is also an asset, is expected to be 25,000. Assume that production is sustained during 52 weeks of the year. Now this was the entire question. How we have to list it out? First we should know the format, that net working capital equals to current assets minus current liabilities. So list out all the current assets. First you can write down raw material, the three types of inventory: raw material, work in progress and then finished goods, right? Now first raw material, how to calculate the amount? Raw material per unit is 100. Raw material time period given is, see on the right hand side, average 4 weeks, right? So time we know, per unit we know. Now we need number of units. How to calculate the number of units? See the second information on the right hand side. Level of activity is 1,04,000 units per annum. Per annum means for the full year, means annual production. So you have to convert it into weekly production. How to why we have to convert it into weekly production? Because all the stock you can observe on the right hand side that the information is given in the form of number of weeks. That is why we have to convert the annual production into weekly production. So you can show this in the form of a working note that annual production equals to 1,04,000 units, whereas we can convert this into weekly production as 1,04,000 units divided by how many weeks in a year? 52. So you get 2,000 units. So see the calculation of the raw material, 2,000 multiplied by number of time period 4 multiplied by per unit raw material 100. So 8 lakh rupees. Now second type of inventory, work in progress. For work in progress you have to take the 3 elements of cost again. 3 elements of cost means material, wages, overheads. So material, write down 2,000 units, number of units into per unit. Per unit is given as for raw material 100 multiplied by time. What is the time? For the work in progress, see the information on the right hand side. Work in progress average 2 weeks. So 2,000 units into 2 weeks into 100 per unit. So 4 lakh. Next is wages. Number of units 2,000. Average 2 weeks. And what is this 40? 40 is a per unit of direct labor or wages. 50% I'll make you understand after this. Come to the overheads. 2,000 units into 2 weeks into 80 per unit. Now why this 50% has been multiplied every time with the wages and overheads, which is shown under work in progress? Because it is always made an assumption that the wages means the direct labor and the overheads, they are being consumed 50% and rest of the 50% is not consumed. The consumption is taken always as 50%. Next you can write after this work in progress is 6,40,000. So 2 types of inventories we have calculated, raw material and work in progress. For work in progress you always have to take the 3 elements of cost, considering wages and overheads with 50% consumption. Next, debtors and cash. For debtors, how to calculate? Number of units 2,000 multiplied by what is the debtors time period. See the information, credit allowed to debtors, which is 8 weeks. So 2,000 into 8 into 220 per unit. From where this 220 per unit has come from? From the total of all the elements of cost. You have to take this per unit always, because to the debtors the entire finished stock is being sent, not only the raw material, not only the labor, not only the overheads, right? So you can calculate this amount. And the last current asset given is the cash, which is 25,000, which you can write down directly. So you have to calculate all the current assets to get the total current assets. Now write down B, current liabilities. Now pick up the current liabilities by seeing the information for which the time period is given to you. Now see credit, where the word credit is given, you can easily catch that this is a current liability. Credit allowed by suppliers. So this is a creditor. Average 4 weeks. So it means number of units 2,000 into 4 weeks into 100. What is this 100 per unit taken from? Raw material per unit has been taken here. Now next, lag in payment of wages. Lag in payment of wages means the outstanding wages. So outstanding wages, how to calculate? If the week is number of weeks or number of time duration is given to you, it means that expense has to be considered. So 2000 units multiplied by 1.5 weeks multiplied by per unit of the labor now, because wages ki per unit you have to take here. So 1,20,000. Total current liabilities, and in the last you can calculate net working capital as 67,45,000 minus 58,25,000. Sorry, minus 9,20,000 is 58,25,000. So in this way you can easily understand the estimation of the working capital requirement. Another question which can be considered for the calculation of working capital requirement. Calculate the working capital requirement for Horizon Limited from the following information. You have been given with certain expenses, raw material, direct labor, overheads along with their per unit, same as the previous question. You have been also given with the profit per unit and selling price per unit as well. Raw material are held in stock on an average for 4 weeks. So raw material time period is 4 weeks. Materials are in process. Materials are in process means work in progress. Work in progress time duration is 2 weeks. Now finished goods are in stock on an average for 4 weeks. So we can jot down at one place what are the information given to you for the inventories time period. Raw material 4 weeks, work in progress 2 weeks, finished goods 4 weeks. So next information is credit allowed by suppliers means creditors 4 weeks, credit allowed to debtors means debtors 8 weeks, lag in payment of wages means outstanding wages, which will be listed under current liabilities, is given as 1.5 weeks. Time lag in payment of overhead expenses, again a current liability, 4 weeks. So in the same way you will be listing out all the current assets and current liabilities. Now let us start from the current assets. Which current assets you have to take? Cash or bank. Then 3 types of inventories: raw material, work in progress and finished goods, and debtors. So these 4 are the current assets. First you list it down. Start from the raw material. Raw material, number of units 2000. Now how this 2000 has to be taken? Again the information is in terms of weeks. So where is the annual production? First find out from the question. It is 1,04,000 units, right? So 1,04,000 units divided by 52. So divided by 52 weeks you can take. So 2000 units again. So 2000 multiplied by raw material per unit is 160, multiplied by 4 is a time duration. Similarly you have to do for the work in progress. For every time work in progress you have to consider 3 elements of cost: raw material, labor and overheads, with an assumption that 50% consumption has been done for the labor and overheads. Next, for finished goods, number of units into total per unit into number of weeks. Next is debtors, number of units into total per unit. Total cost per unit is what? 340. Has to be considered both for finished goods as well as debtors into number of weeks. So total current assets you will get as 91,30,000. Next, list out all the current liabilities. What all current liabilities are given to you? Creditors, then labor is written, you can write down outstanding wages here instead of this word labor. Then overheads for outstanding overheads. So in this way you can calculate the total current liabilities. Net working capital will be achieved by CA minus CL. Another question is exactly the same, just it has been taken to make you aware of how the annual production can be converted into monthly production. Now see this question, that in the paragraph the wages are paid in the next month, material is introduced in the beginning of the cycle, work in progress, it means every kind of information. Production process 1 month, credit allowed by creditors 2 months, credit given to the debtors 3 months. So you can observe that every information of the time duration is months. So you have to convert the annual production into monthly production. So what is the annual production? 69,000 units. So how to convert into monthly production? Monthly production will be annual production 69,000 units divided by 12 months, which is 5750 units. So you have to do the calculation with the number of units as 5750. Right, now per unit is required for the calculation as well. For the per unit, you can see here raw material 50% of selling price, direct wages 10% of selling price, overheads 20% of selling price. So where is the selling price given to you in the question? Selling price is given as 50. So they have not given to you per unit directly, rather they have given, you have to first calculate. So 50% of 50, 25, 50, then direct wages 10% of 50, 5 per unit, overheads 20% of 50 is 10, right? So this you have to calculate in the same manner. So current liability is given to you as creditors and wages only, which you will be taking here in the calculation. And one thing more, for the finished goods and for the debtors, which per unit to be taken? Always the total cost per unit. So total cost per unit, from where you will pick? Which you have calculated from raw material per unit plus direct wages per unit plus overheads per unit. You will get the per unit, the total per unit, which will be 40. 25 per unit for the raw material, 5 per unit for the direct wages, 10 per unit for the overheads. So 25 plus 5 plus 10 is 40 per unit. This has to be considered for finished goods and for the debtors. So I hope this concept, format and the calculation of the working capital requirement is clear to you all.